Okay, so today I'm gonna make a video on how to replace a plank in a laminate floor. If you have a laminate floor that's the locking type, if you've put it in, you'll know that it's not the easiest thing, because the way it's designed is it locks inside and outside, on like top and bottom, and on the on the four sides. So I have ours is kind of thicker than the ones you put the backing down. This one, their backing is attached to it. And I've replaced a few around the house. So I just replaced this one. And you can see it doesn't have the finish that the other have yet, because it hadn't been cleaned the same way. So and you can see I used to put glue under them because you have to cut edges off to get it in, but this one I tried without the glue, and once it gets to a certain point, it kind of just pulls down the same way the rest of them are. So I'm gonna replace two. I've never done that before, two at the same time. And you see the reason we're replacing is because they had water damage, some type of water, or possibly dog, and if you don't catch it in time, it lifts up the top, the laminate, and then you have to you walk across it and it knocks the laminate off. So now I'm trying to replace these two, this and this. So I drew and cut them about 5/8 off the edge, so I stay away from the channels. And I cut lines all the way and all the way again. I said I've never done two before at the same time. All the way again. Then I cut across the edges from edge to edge. And so that is so I can take the centers out as easy as it could be done. And so what you got to watch is when I use my cordless circular saw, you set your blade to the depth by coming up against one of the other ones, and you set it to where it is just right above. So because I have concrete underneath, or cement, or a slab. If you have a wood floor or some type of wood subfloor, you probably wouldn't care as much if it cut into it. I don't want my blade cutting into the concrete. It's going to ruin the blade. So the next step after you've scored the tiles is, as you know, a round blade doesn't cut all the way to the edges. So, and another thing I want to say is that you want to cut here. Now, in my haste, my rush, I cut and the blade started going sideways. So it went into this one that I don't want to replace. This is one that is good. So I don't want to replace it, but now I've cut possibly into that channel that's going to lock this one and that one to this. So it probably might have cut this channel. So I'm gonna have to check when I take it out. So my next step is gonna be, I'm gonna reverse the camera and set it down, is I want to chisel to cut through all the way, because the saw blade has left a rounded, and it's not all the way to each edge. So I'm going to chisel all these little corners. I'm going to do all 8 of them. Actually, I'm going to pause the video and I will cut them, and then I will come back when I'm trying to remove the center pieces. We'll pause it now. Okay, so I've chiseled all these edges now. you would hope that it would pop right out, but usually something else is kind of grabbing on it. And it's going to be harder to do holding the phone, so what I'm going to do is flip it around and set it down. That didn't work, so just keep it as is. So and you can see it is lifting the edges. So there it is, coming all the way up. Okay, so that's that one. I'm gonna pull the other one out. Let's pause the video for a second. I'm gonna pull the other one out and we'll get back. Okay, so got both of them out. Now the remnants between, as you can see, this one pops up. This is gonna break. Everything's gonna break as you're taking it up. In case you didn't know, I'm kind of anal, so I've been vacuuming everything. It's very messy when you cut. The dust goes everywhere, and I usually am kind of anal about vacuuming up as I go. Okay, so now we're gonna take and get the other edges out. And this is the one that I said, remember I said I cut, and it came really close into cutting the other tile. It didn't cut it, but I don't know what it did to the channel yet until I peel away. Okay, so what it is this is the channel that goes under. So that is not a problem. It looks like I may have cut a little bit of that top channel, but that's not a problem because when the new tile goes under, it's not gonna affect. So I kind of need both hands. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna chisel, because the saw is too wide to cut this way. So I'm just gonna chisel, knock this piece out, and then I'll be able to kind of chisel here to the ends, and I'll be able to pull all of the remaining part of the bad tiles out all the way. And I'll come back and show you the finished, ready for installation product.